The Welder. The first enemy encountered in the facilities, these big old chubs are the largest basic enemies in the game, whether because they are augmented in some form by the scientists, or because they are something other than human, is unknown. On closer inspection, they are wearing leather aprons stained in blood, a welding helmet, long work gloves, and armor on both their chest and legs. They all like to carry flamethrowers, with which they fire a barrage of fireballs at the player once spotted. These enemies also explode after being killed, possibly as a last resort to deal with the intruder. As seen later in the second episode, with all the Tesla coils, power plants, reactors, and other industrial-like architecture, these welders must be invaluable in order to maintain these facilities. If these enemies seem familiar to you, it may be the striking similar characteristics that they share with the Mancubus of the Doom series.
Heretic.
The Grand Wizard. A smaller variant of certain fraternal bosses, the only real difference they have from mages is that their robes and hood are colored red, and the fireballs they produce will home in on the player. To go a different route from the fact about mages being analogous to clowns within our real world, another point of inspiration for their design could very well come from capirotes, which are pointed conical hats used in Italy, Spain, and other Hispanic countries in relation to Christian events such as the Holy Week in Spain, or otherwise known as La Semana Santa. The Wendigo. A fairly popular mythological creature, Wendigos are deer-like demons with bleached bone masks and lurid red eyes. Some of the most dangerous basic enemies in the game, Wendigos are invisible until they take damage from any source. An easy way to spot them before they manifest themselves are the sound effects which can be easily heard when nearby, and the fact that they all like to step over wet paint prior to encountering DUSK Dude. On top of that, your flashlight will also flicker when near their presence. Once visible, a loud sound effect will play, in case you didn't already know you were being assailed. Strange enough, these enemies can be found in the Escher labs, being suspended in a mysterious red liquid, implying experimentation or other nefarious deeds. The first written mention of a Wendigo-like creature was in 1636 and credited to Paul Lejeune, a French missionary living among the Algonquin people in what is now Quebec, Canada. When reporting back to his superiors, he told them of a woman who warned him of an action that had eaten some tribal members and that the horrors would continue if the Jesuit was not called elsewhere. Likely just a boogeyman story in order to scare away the foreigner. Wendigos have seen different depictions throughout history, but the modern depiction of our furry friends wasn't actually the norm until the release of the June 1944 issue of Famous Fantastic Mysteries, with illustrations by comic book artist Matt Fox. The Wendigo is a novella in said magazine created by Algernon Blackwood in The Lost Valley and Other Stories, published in 1910. It's a turret. The Cowgirl. Another smaller variant of a boss, these poor mutilated women tower over the player while constantly moaning, which may be an implication of severe experimentation to the point that they are in constant pain. They appear as half-naked, skin-grafted mechanical abominations with robotic legs and a rocket launcher as a replacement for an arm. To top it all off, they also have cowboy hats fused into their heads. Seeing as how they are armed with rocket launchers, they can be quite dangerous for the DUSK Dude, so jumping around them or using cover is recommended. Cowgirls share some similarities with Iron Maidens from Quake 2, as they are both cybernetically enhanced women with arm-mounted rocket launchers. The original texture for the Cowgirl was much more gruesome, and I may not be able to show it here, but it can be easily found on the wiki. The texture, however, shows them fully nude with mutilated breasts and genitalia, something that the director of New Blood, Dave Oshry, said was far too grotesque and could potentially offend people. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm only trying to one-up myself with every video I release, so I'll try to get done with part 3 as soon as I can. Hope to see you again.